Hey y'all. All right. We got to talk about this, y'all. We got to talk about this. I couldn't even let the song finish. We got to talk about this. So, religion. Religion is nothing but a negative, self-fulfilling prophecy. That's all it is. And it has captivated so many people's minds that I'm noticing more and more people, in spite of everything that happened for them in 2018, they end up being back under these religious spells. Religion is a spell, okay? And the reason why I said hypocritical elders reapply religious generational hexes is because they're doing witchcraft in the church. Hello. When they are in that church and they are praying, they are doing witchcraft. So that's what makes them hypocritical. They don't understand it. It's something that they're going to have to deal with eventually, but it is the truth. Okay. For example, if you are somebody that meditates, enjoys using crystals, and you marry into a family where the head of the family is an illogical female, and she's scared, she don't know what to expect. Every time something different comes to her, it's like a cognitive dissonance. And what I've noticed is that there's always a fear. Whenever you tell a religious person that you are expanding your spiritual beliefs and you're expanding yourself spiritually, they cannot stop thinking about it. It's almost like they're programmed that way. Okay, it's almost like they're programmed that way. And when you are doing something different, it bothers them, especially if they see you happy. Happiness is not a virtue to religious people. It's suffer and suffer. You were born in sin. You're a piece of crap. Suffer, 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 and then die. That's pretty much the way they see it. In fact, a lot of them are just waiting for the world to end. The world is not going to end. We'll still be here 50 to 100 years from now talking about the same thing. Okay, because I looked in 2029 and a lot of people are still going to be under that same spell. And when you try to escape that spell, they are going to know it. And they are going to go to their churches and they're going to pray, oh, please don't let this person be right. It's all about being right. It's not about actual right and wrong or righteousness. It's just about being right. Probably over 80% of the world that believes in these ridiculous male domination religions, they just don't want to be wrong. If you notice, a religious male will never admit to his wrongdoing. He just won't do it. It's just not in them. And this religion has created the narcissism that we're seeing now. So, for example, if you have a religious elder and they're saying, no, you're not supposed to feel good. You're supposed to go to the doctor. You're supposed to be controlled by medications. Your mind, body, and spirit, everything is supposed to be controlled by a pill, right? Because most religious people, they go to the doctor every other day. You see what I'm saying? So when they see you doing something different, it creates a problem, and then they are obsessed over you. What is this person doing? Oh, it's got to be the devil. No, the world is in turmoil. No, no, no. you know, the Bible prophesizes that we're going to all die and we're going to go out in fire and brimstone. And to be honest with you, a lot of them will, because that's what you manifest in your life. If you believe in it, then that's what's going to happen. Religion is poison, period. Period. It's poison. It has created more mental illnesses, death, destruction, anxiety. It's destruction. Religion is destruction. Because when you are out of their control, that is when they have a problem with you. And the reason why they can't let it go is because they've been doing this for years. They're used to suffering. They're used to it. In fact, their suffering is the only thing that justifies their life, is their suffering. Oh, I suffered through this and I went through that and I did this. And they are always going to want you to go through the same thing. So what religious older people will do, and I have even seen witches do this. I've even seen, I can look in the cards and I can tell you if you have a witch that is religious. Okay, when you have a witch that is religious and they are applying curses, and the reason why the curse exists is because it needs something to feed upon. It's the only reason. If everybody would take the power out of the hands of whatever that religion is, which is absolute bullshit, it is absolute made up bullshit. It's self-fulfilling. It's not real. It's a trick. And it even says it in their own Bible that the devil is going to trick people and fool people, and they still don't get it. They completely skip right over that. They'll see somebody, and you know what? It's almost like they develop a case of Munchausen, to where they're like, no, this is what has happened generationally in our family, and this is what's going to happen to you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And that is because they have been duped. They have been duped. So religious generational curses is the top ones. They're the top ones. When you have a family that, and see, there's many different types of families. It really is. There's the religious family that holds on to it and they can capitalize off of it and they can profit off of it. What they're not understanding is that you can't accept that at that time. You need to wait it out for something else to come along, because religion screwed up everybody. It did. You can even tell, even with the signs, even with everything that's going on, religious people continue to pray for death. They do. They do. They continue to pray for death. It doesn't matter. If you are somebody that is coming out of that and you're breaking that cycle, the first thing that they want you to do is die, because they feel like, well, if you're dead, I can control you. It's all about control. It's not about life. It's not even about God. That Bible has nothing to do with God. It's only a book of self-fulfilling prophecies. And you see a lot of people, what do a lot of witches do? They do Bible curses on people. Oh, I want this person to be sick. I want this person to be hungry. I want this person to lose everything. I want this person to do all of this and that. And then they'll go and call you evil. And then they'll say, well, technically, you know, you're not right because you living for money and you just ain't right. So what the hell am I supposed to live for? Death, hunger, destruction, and illness? What are we supposed to be living for here? We're supposed to be living for the destruction of the human race. That's not even that, because all of these people that are on that, they're going to be saying that until the day they die. And then the next generation is going to have to pick it up. The next generation is going to have to clear it up. Anybody that is talking like that, they are under a spell. You do not give up. You keep fighting. Most of your, what's up, beautiful flower? Most of your religious fanatics, which is the elders, they are going to continue to try to kill you off. They're going to continue to, it's their system. And anybody that lives outside of that system is going to get attacked. Anybody that goes against that grain. And so when it comes to religion, religion should be thrown out. We need to throw it away. That's all it's doing. The Bible is filled with spells. So then how can you say that somebody that puts a spell on themselves to make themselves better is wrong? How can you say that when you're speaking spells? So they're hypocrites at the same time. How is their church on Sunday any different from what I do over here? It's no different. The only difference is that they want to destroy anything good because they have to fulfill their prophecy. They're bored with life. They don't really see the meaning in life. How can they? Their brains have been entrapped in slavery, where that's where they get you, is in your mind. So this is why when you go and you do something, you have to literally sometimes go no contact with those people. You don't even have to do it long term if they don't afflict you or affect you anymore, and you can face the lion and it doesn't bother you anymore, then you're good. Okay? Hey, smarty girl, then you're good. But if they can cause you to be down and out, down and under, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, look at the signs of the times, the world's going to end and everything's going to end. And dude, seriously. Let me tell you something. It's all a lie. It's not real. It was created to control you. And the only way you're going to break that mind control is if you do something about it. I mean, honestly, and you know, a lot of people say, well, church isn't that. Well, they've got candles and incense and they're burning them. So then what do you think that they're doing? And they always have their so-called Jesus target. You know, this is somebody that brings hope. They don't want no hope. They don't want no hope. They don't want it. They don't want no healing. They want to stay how they are, because if they try to change, it produces a cognitive dissonance in their brain. Cognitive dissonance is a spiritual occurrence. It's when you're being told something, when you can see that whatever that is doing harm to you, is doing harm to your family. It's absolutely ridiculous how they sit and obsess over spiritualists, and it's because they are one. And it's almost like, let's pass the blame. Well, what about the person that won't let people be? You just won't leave people the hell alone. You just won't quit bothering them. They're some of the most nosiest people, vindictive people. And the reason why people fall underneath that is because there are some churches that do community outreach, because they give out scraps and old food to people. That's the reason why. Oh, well, the church does so much for the community. They're doing more damage than they are doing good. And I say that to say, because of the energies that they are invoking in their church. The Bible is an instruction on how to be gay, kill your kids, hate women, and hate yourself, because all of you are witches. Even as you sit in the church on the fucking pulpit, you're still a witch. And then it'll say, we got to suffer witches to die, but you're dying yourself. They don't get it. It doesn't register in their brain. It's a delusion. They want to lie to themselves. They don't even want to know. They don't even want to know, how is this going to affect your children? How is this going to affect future generations? They did not care. They were warned by spiritualists like myself to stop it. In fact, whenever Christianity first hit mainstream, they killed and destroyed a bunch of people that told them the truth. They said, this is going to be destruction and death, and it's not going to do anybody any good. And they still did it because they wanted power and control. It was more about having power. And it's not even real power. It's fake power. How can you call yourself powerful when a book dictates your every single day? A book, not your brain. Not your brain. So they go all over the internet. They're speaking Bible verses. They are very, very interested in Black spiritualists, in particular the Black ones. Why do you think they don't attack white spiritualists? Because Black spiritualists have more of an impact. That's probably why. They don't bother they bother us because they need that melanin. They need that melanin to be tamed. And why? No one will ever know. Why don't these people want you to live better? It's because they're ignorant. That's why. So this is the reason why you'll come to me and get a generational hex remover, and then your mother-in-law will reapply it because she's going to church, and my son is married to this woman, and she be over there, meditating, and she ain't sick like me, and she ain't half dead like me. And that's just what they do. They're going to continue to try to fulfill that prophecy. They're afraid of being happy. They don't want to be happy. Happiness is not a virtue for these people at all. Happiness is a choice. And most people want to be happy and fulfilled in life. They don't. They don't. Why do you think they're going to shit all in your yard and why they're going to rain on your parade? Because they have to. Because they have to fulfill the prophecy of destruction. And I don't know why they got planet Earth involved with it. I don't know why they did that, because I'm going to tell you something. The more and more that people buy into this, the more and more Earth is going to destroy us. That the planet Earth, God, the true God, is showing us what it is. That's the reason why we have tornadoes and floods and blizzards and stuff like that. It's not, man. I don't believe it's manufactured weather. I really don't. I don't believe in that. I believe it's manufactured through us. It's manufactured through them doing the wrong thing. I have no problem with saying Bible. To hell with it. But a lot of people, oh my God, I'm scared. What are you scared of? Being in control of your own life? Are you afraid that what you believed in for years and years is a lie? The same difference with vaccines. People that are vaccinated, they have their vaccines, right? Which protects them from any disease, but yet and still they're banning little children from school for not having them. Because they don't want to admit that the vaccine it's a ploy, it's a myth. They don't want to admit that. So what they do is they go and say, well, hey, our vaccines are not working because your child is not being vaccinated. What? But you said that it worked. Well, this one unvaccinated child can bring in the disease. Well, where are they going to bring it in from? They're going to bring it in from other unvaccinated children. Well, then if they're going to bring that in and your shots work, the vaccines work, then why are you still getting sick? Oh, it's these unvaccinated children, but you said that the vaccines worked. So then right now we're proving that they don't work. But they don't want to admit that they're wrong because so many people are rich off of your sicknesses. You know how many people are rich because you a stupid fucking religious fanatic? How many people got rich off of it? How many people get rich every day because of your ignorance? You know that, right? You have to know that. At some point, you're going to have to face the music and face the reality of what I'm talking about and what other people are talking about. To the point, so much so that other religious people, they just, other spiritualists, they just say, screw it. These people are not going to walk away from their religion. So then let's buy into their, I'll never do that. Let me tell you what the Bible is. The Bible is instructions on how to kill yourself. That's what the Bible is. I have all 3 of my children from being exempt from any and all vaccines. It is absolutely junk science. It was created about 70 years ago, before we had clean water, and there was a lot of diseases and stuff being spread. But I'm not saying as far as how I feel about vaccines. I'm comparing it to it because they'll say, well, even though I'm going to go to church and I'm going to use witchcraft against spiritualists, I'm still going to not believe in it. Well, then why are you so afraid of it if you don't believe in it then? Why are you so scared? And this is why, for me, I am on that same page. I know what it is. It's called clear knowing. It's called clear knowing. And so when you have a religious generational hex on you, the older people, the elders, are going to keep reapplying it. So some of y'all that don't have, freedom from that, in particular, if you are a sacrifice, okay, because some of your parents gave birth to you to sacrifice you to their Christian God. And they don't have any faith, because if you truly had faith, you wouldn't be scared of witches, which is yourself. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So for me, I'm constantly having to remove this same damn generational hex for myself, because the elders are doing rituals to keep you in it. They already done did everything they're supposed to do. A person that has already done everything, they're gonna say, well, no, I done already got everything. I'm married, I got a man, I got this and that. But then, okay, so then why won't you let the other people do it? Because let me tell you something, black women, if you up in that church, you don't have a damn husband. Your husband is Jesus. Now tell me why you are not being allowed to manifest a real husband besides Jesus? Because your energy is being siphoned from you. And the reason why your parents gave you, let me tell you what religion is like. Have y'all ever seen the movie Paranormal Activity? And you remember how it was the grandmother. It was the grandmother that it sold out everybody in the freaking family. That is because it's easy for them. That, okay. Religious people believe in sacrifice. I'm pagan and I don't believe in human sacrifice, but your pastors and your Christian religious fanatics, they absolutely believe in sacrifice of people, of your loved ones, of your children. And they don't care what they have to put you through. They don't care if they torture you mentally and spiritually. They'll torture you. They'll set you up. They'll do all kind of outlandish stuff. And you guys have got to break that cycle. If you remove a generational hex and you earn 200,000, and then your family go, oh, what? Oh my God, we got to reapply it. We must be poor. Being poor ain't no virtue. Being poor ain't doing nothing but causing sickness, hunger, and death. And then they constantly fast with Jesus. Jesus ain't fasting. Jesus eats food. It's not about it ain't even about your diet, man. Diet, this whole diet debate has been nothing but a trick and it is meant to distract you. You can transform any food that you have in front of you. You have the power to do it. But instead, somebody has convinced you they done poisoned all the food. And so now you're thinking in your mind, I'm eating poison. And so the food gonna turn into poison as you put it in your body because you're telling the food it's poison. So if you tell something that it's gonna poison you and yet you drink it anyway or you eat it anyway, then surely you're gonna be poisoned. And I'm fired up today because I just did a reading for a client where the mother-in-law Reaaply is constantly reapplying hexes. Constantly. Because you're just supposed to be the sheep led to slaughter. You're the freaking endangered species. Human beings are. Yes, they're using mind control on people. Absolutely. They've been using mind control with religion. Religion is the biggest device that they use. They don't have to use a freaking they don't, all they got to do is go in their church and pray. Please God, I pray in Jesus name that Jamila blah 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 blah. And these are real hexes, and they will get, I mean, they will give your hair, your fingernails, your menstrual blood. They want you underneath that curse because they just want to control you. Religion is about control. That is it. And they'll tell you I'm evil. Well, she's evil because, you know, she's telling you the truth. And, you know, anything that's based on truth is evil. So then they said that the snake of the serpent in the garden was the evil one. Are you kidding me? You couldn't decipher out of the Bible what you're reading to the point where you got to have somebody interpret it for you. And that's the problem, is that people are interpreting it for you. You don't need your pastor to see. Right now, I am in direct competition with churches. Direct competition. Why is it a competition if I'm healing folks? Because they have an interest on keeping you sick. This is why they try to kill healers. Now, for me, the reason why they ain't killed me is because I have perfect love and perfect trust for my spirits. I don't have no fear of none of that. Why should I have to fear it? For what? I went through one of the worst psychic attacks that I've had from the church, and I did not call to Jesus. None during that attack. And the reason why is because it's a mind control device. You are your freaking savior, not Jesus. Jesus ain't gonna save. Jesus couldn't even save himself from being persecuted. Come on, and it's reality in your face. Exactly, Yaya, exactly. All the rest of that stuff is fake. It's a fraud and it's a lie. And there's real people that are creating real miracles, but yet religious people continue, and Spirit showed me. Spirit showed me what was going on with a lot of people. Well, what it is that Jesus is the scapegoat. There's always going to be a scapegoat. That's all Jesus was a scapegoat. That's all it is. That's why if you are somebody that has spiritual gifts and you're in your family, they pick you out and they say, oh, okay, well, this is the one. This is the evil one right here because this person is evil. And they told us the truth. What did they tell you? They told you the truth that you were being a hypocrite. They told you the truth that you continue to practice out of that grimoire. I don't, you know, I believe that we need to create a new Bible. Well, it's the truth, smarty girl. It's the truth. I mean, what else can they don't want to know the truth until they go to hell. And then they say, well, I did everything. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. The first thing that Christians do is judge. They not supposed to be no judge or nothing. They supposed to be just the sheep. They tired of being the sheep. So then they take the religion, they flip it around, and they use Bible verses against people. And they're all practicing out, they're all practicing out of the same Bible. All of them are. Same difference. It's no different. It's no different. Women are supposed to be here, and then men are supposed to be here. Okay. No, they don't read the Bible. They don't. They just were told to go to church and pray to Jesus and everything's going to be okay. And that anybody that is practicing any other type of spirituality, they must be destroyed. This person doesn't go to church, they must be destroyed. How dare you not be a puppet? Yeah, you're right about Horus. You're right about that. It's filled with contradictions. It's very confusing. One day they up, one day they down, because they're not in control of their own energy. No Christian is. They don't know it until I explain it to them. And I always tell them, listen, this in your family, I can see that grandma or great grandma gave you over to this demon that she thought that she was supposed to give you over to. They want to force you to go to the church. Well, I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to go. I have my own church. Oh, well, that's blasphemy because, the woman is supposed to just shut up. It's ridiculous. And guess who it affects mainly? Men. So we got a bunch of confused males running around here, very, very confused, and they supposed to be in control. That's scary. Oh, no, don't do that. To the point where their job is to just sit and watch you all day. And that's where you can tell that this ain't right. I decree right now that nobody gets paid for that shit no more. I'm tired of it, y'all. I'm tired. I done got tired. Of it. We don't, If it's your job to sit around and police somebody else and make sure that they are complacent to this religion so that your daddy can be in control, because my daddy got to be in control. See, this is for my daddy. But he ain't got no control because don't nothing come from nobody but the woman. It's the truth. I can tell you that back in the day, Christians would go out and they went on their crusades, and I was wrapped up in it. All of that was all about the crusade to discredit spiritual workers. That's all that it was. Absolutely. They say the narrow path is the way to heaven. That sounds like more like neural path or something. Your brain. They talking about your brain. And I would never be under that covenant. I broke that covenant. And you know what? They want to come back and they'll try to reaffirm the covenant to where you're the Jesus figure that has to die so that they can live. And it's ridiculous. And they always say, oh, well, somebody that's a spiritualist, you threaten to kill that's not a real, no, I can promise you that there's no spiritualist that can do that. It's all self-fulfilling. Nobody can do that. Nobody can tell you when if you're sick or you're going to die. Nobody can really actually tell you that. We can give you a number. Yeah. What is so moral about there's nothing moral about that. Nothing. I can promise you. They're very immoral. There's no morals. They derived, I will tell you that when we look at, I'm going to tell you something that we know that a lot of that existed, but if you saw them hanging a black person, it was because they were hanging a witch. And then they would burn them. They would set them on fire. They would burn them alive. They would hang them. And so we have all people doing stuff like that. So yeah, that's what they've been doing. They've been doing that for the longest. And instead of allowing people to manifest what they want, they're going to stay stuck to this crap that is just crap. Religion is something that needs to be thrown away. Period. I can see this woman harm to her grandchildren, doing harm to her son, doing harm to his wife because of religion. And it is a sickness. Religion is the sickness. I hate to say it. Why do you think people are doing crazy stuff like blowing up churches? Because the most evil is coming from the churches. And that doesn't mean that you have to get all upset and fight and cuss and scream and stuff like that, because that's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. That's the reason why they talk crazy to me, because I practice witchcraft. That's the only reason. Oh, you're a witch, so you're evil. And we get to take out all our anger and frustrations on you. And we get to blame you for everything under the sun. Salem witch trials of 1692. Exactly. Exactly. The reason why is because they don't want you to control your own energy. They don't want you to control your own life. No, you're a black person that's unmarried. So that means that you just got to live like a peasant and you're just going to be a pauper for the rest of your life. What? No, you're this and that. So this is the way it's going to be. Let me tell you something. It's called a reversal candle. Hello. No, honey. No. No, sweetie. No, that's not the way that it is. No, we've got to say this, and we decree that so and so and so is evil, and they shall die, and everything that they work for shall be destroyed because it is evil, and the Lord God said it. And that's just who said that? These people that wrote the Bible. Who wrote the Bible? The first thing they'll say is God. God didn't write the Bible, so that's a lie. God was not, you know how sophisticated God is. We're talking about God. And they took, like, literally, they wouldn't even be able to fathom or even imagine what God is. And they'll say, oh, you're just godless. Why? Because I don't believe that one man died for my sins. Right. King James wrote the Bible. Does King James even remotely look or resemble God? No. No, no. Exactly. They had a meeting and they said we must control. And then also it was about them wanting the witches because they raped them a lot and they wanted to keep them under control. And it's just the reality of it. And please believe that a lot of the people that are going along with it, they don't want anything. They just don't want it. Have you ever saw somebody sitting around not doing anything? It's because they don't want to do anything. They've given up. They just gave up on life. And they're like, well, just give up. Just give up. But what are you talking about? I'm a revolutionary. I was born to change. You say, no, just give up. Just let it go and just let it. No. Somebody has to say something. Yeah, I don't believe in no original sin and we are born in sin and we are. No, I don't. Yeah, you'll be innocent and they'll just be blaming you for everything. And when you tell them the truth, they have a problem with it, a huge problem. It's just the reality of it. We're going to have to come out of this as a society. So, with the generational hexes and curses, they're going to keep reapplying it and you just have to keep removing it. You have to remove it every year. You may not necessarily have to do the full thing, but you're going to have to do a hex because they're going to keep reapplying it. And you have to keep reversing it. They're not going to stop. I can tell you that. The only way it's going to stop is if we abolish religion, which would be wrong because everybody has the right to practice under their constitutional right. So the Constitution protects them. Okay. And the only thing that you can do is do your reversals and send it back to them. Okay. Because all of their money is being tied up into tithes. And then also all that debt that they're paying that really is just spiritual debt. Okay. And once you get a better understanding of that, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Every month and every month, I have to do spell work because they're constantly trying to work against, my magic. They're constantly trying to work against it. And then I just keep removing it and just rewriting history. That's really the only thing you can do. When you write out a petition, you're rewriting history. But then they'll go, oh, no. We got to go back into this. And then, the next thing you realize that. You realize what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, guys. I'm writing out a petition. So this is what I want to tell you. And you don't join them. You keep doing your work. Because they'll have you at that church door begging for food. Oh, I need food. That's exactly how they want you. Oh, we don't have any food. But you just went to your church and you wished death, hunger, and destruction on me. So they're doing it to everybody. And they'll say, oh, well, I just love you and I just want you to come and just suffer with us. No, I'm not going to suffer with you. Not going to do it. And I'm telling y'all that they will keep reapplying it. And sometimes you do have to remove it again. And then even possibly put hexes on them. Because they put a hex on you, you got to put it back on them. Eventually, they'll learn the lesson. Eventually. Okay. If you guys need to reach me for generational hex removers, and especially if you got some kind of religious gen hex on you, you know, it's definitely something that they will reapply, and they can do it in church. And they feel good about it. Yes, I'm gonna, because I need to control this person. I need to make sure that, you know, they know that they're doing wrong. Well, what wrong did I do? You're just doing wrong. I don't know what it is, but it's just wrong. Anytime you're making money, it's wrong. To the point where you like, well, how the hell am I supposed to feed my family? Every single job that I had, it got attacked by male energy and male domination. Ain't no different. They gonna come for you even if you got your own business. They gonna come for you even if you don't. So what? So what? You don't give up. You keep going. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I know how they do. And I just sit there and look at them. I don't get bothered or disturbed when people say stuff crazy to me. I know what I got to do to keep myself where I'm supposed to be, and I don't worry about it. Exactly. Yeah, they want you back because they need your energy, and they need for you to be sad and upset. Oh, I'm so sad, you know, and I did wrong. What'd you do wrong? Oh, I woke up this morning and I had some kind of hope in myself. But then I realized that I just can't seem to do it because I'm just not good enough. Right, you're right. People with souls don't treat others less than animals, and that's what they do. That's what you get from the church. And I don't want no church going man. No, thank you. Keep your butt at home where you at. I don't want no church going man. No, thank you. No, sirree, Bob. I just don't want it. Yeah, well, Smarty Girl said her pastor told her that if she continued to bring her son to church, his life would be better. But whose life is that? None of those people are happy. Nobody involved in the church is happy. They not. You can tell. You can tell. None of them are happy. And what the hell is the point if you're unhappy? What's the point? What's the point if you're not happy? Well, you're doing your duty to the Lord, to the good Lord, to be miserable. No, you're not. No, you're not. I can tell you that. I can promise you that it ain't doing them no good. It ain't doing you no good. It's not doing your family no good. And it's just really bad. And, you know, they're going to continue to reapply those hexes, and they're going to continue to work on the men, because that's how they get us, is through the men. That's how they got us, was through the men. And they put them in them supposedly in power and control, but I can tell you that they don't have no power and control. They don't. You know, we can pretend that they have any power and control, but in reality, they don't. We're going to get up the next morning. We're going to say, no, you don't have no power over here. As they, you know what he was doing, Smarty Girl? He basically put a hex on your son. Did you not recognize that? He put a hex on them. It's basically what he did. They speak hexes, is what they do. That's why you have to do a beef tongue on them. If I had a family or if I had a pastor that was speaking that kind of stuff over me, I would do a beef tongue on them so that their words don't mean nothing. That's what you have to do to your enemies, is do a beef tongue on them. And your enemy is definitely the church. Oh, your kid's going to turn out like this if so and so and so, if you don't bring them to church every Sunday and pay tithes. They're going to tell you that. I know that's why. Yeah, that. But see, you notice how that person said that to you and how you had to remove that because it's a spoken curse based upon spoken word. The reason why they're bombing the churches is because the churches are producing a lot of evil. I didn't want to say that during that time, but it's just the reality of it, is that it's evil. It's always been evil. It's never been good. It's been good for the people that benefit off of it, but to the people that don't, where are they left out? And I don't think God just leaves people behind like that. I don't think God just deserts people and just says, oh, well, I guess, little Bobby Ray over here, he's going to have to die so that little Chili Ray over here can. No, baby. No, that ain't the way God works. That ain't the true God. In the meantime, you doing all this, but folks are dying around you and you miserable. That don't make no sense. So then you got to ask yourself, you got to use critical thinking. They say that critical thinking is bad. They say, don't think about it. Just do it. They don't even want you to think. They just want you to get up every Sunday and then Wednesday and Tuesday night and go to church. And they don't want you to think about it. They don't. Yaya Coconut. It was a grand wizard of the KKK that even invented religion. Okay, this is what that is. These people been running around in their purity and they just filthy as all get out. They all filthy. They're all filthy. Trust me. And you need to get it out of your family. You need to get it out of your mind. You need to get it away from your family, because the older people are going to go, no, take the poison. That's what they do. And if they're doing that, you have to say, hell no, be gone. Leave me alone. Quit harassing me. Let me tell you something. Christians do work in church. They do work at home. All they have to do is sit around and talk, just like we do. You can talk into your flame and you can create something. And why are they obsessed with you? Because they know you're right. You know that they're right about their religion. And so they say, well, we must destroy her. Because if I'm just talking crazy, then why you got to try to destroy folks then if we just talking crazy? Because I'm definitely not religious at all. And religious people can be very nasty. They can be very, very nasty. You know the way I handle it? I tell them love and light. I say love and light. And then I go and I do black magic on them. Screw them. That's what I do. I tell them love and light, and then I go and I do spiritual work to remove all of that bad energy. Hello? Okay, that's exactly what I do. Who cares? I mean, it's ridiculous. And literally they seem to have done something else to where they done did some mind control. So I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna trigger you. I am not gonna sit up there and let you fold for that demon, because that's all it is a demon. If y'all notice, nobody in my family has died. Not none of my children, even the ones that are far away from me. Ain't nothing gonna happen to them. But those people that stayed involved in that religion, their family is just dropping like flies. if you notice that. And they know that the families are sacrificed. They say, well, you know, this is good because God is good. Well, God is good to me, and didn't nobody have to die last year? And ain't nobody gonna have to die this year. The only thing that is gonna have to die is that spirit of religion. And it's a very cold, mean person that created religion. Very evil, a group of very evil men created the Bible. A group of very evil men are the ones that did it. And the women that you know they had to, which was typically the women in their family. Those were the ones that they had control over. Unless they tried to leave. God forbid you try to leave these religious cult-like families. You're in a cult. It's not love. It's not acceptance. It's none of that. It is nothing but a cult. When you know better, you will do better. And so if you're a man that has a religious mother or a religious father, you're going to go into some woman's life and make her life miserable because you haven't destroyed the covenant of that particular religion. All that stuff is limiting to you. Everything that advances us as a human race and everything that saves us as a human race goes completely against the Bible. All of it, meditation, yoga, all of it goes completely against the Bible. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the Bible is crap. And I have no fear of saying that at all. So what you have to do is you have to deal with whoever the religious fanatic is in the family, which is usually your father. And you got to use black and purple candles because that's what they're using. They're using black magic on you. And when you a father and you competing with your kids, that's sad. That's sad. That ain't supposed to be the way it's supposed to be. Your kids are supposed to have more than you. And the reason why is because everything is inflated. Everything grows, but I don't want you to grow. And that curse of patriarchy is worse. You know, let me tell you what the Bible did. The Bible didn't do nothing but create toxic masculinity. That's all it did, was created toxic masculinity. Toxic. And the women that live under that, they benefit from it. That's why they come and they say, no, you got to hold on to the Lord, because they don't have to do nothing. They just sit back and they get taken care of by their husbands who are religious, who are feeding off of you. Uh-huh. But see, it was created by a male. Please believe that the Bible was created by a male. And then that male taught that to his daughters, and then it created that toxic femininity, which is very toxic. And they will attack you. They will come down on you. You can see exactly what they're doing. If they were able to do it, then you would be upset about it. But for me, I don't even get upset about it anymore. I just sit up there and listen. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Sure thing. Excuse me while I go on my channel and make my money and live my life. Excuse me. I'll see you later. Bye. Have a happy life. That's really what you have to do. Okay. Anyway, guys, religious curses. You have to remove yourself from that. You have to stop allowing it to reattach to you. Make the disconnect. And I'm sorry, guys, if y'all have a husband and he's like religious and his mama is religious and stuff like that, y'all, that's not good, because they're going to constantly, and it's not that you're doing anything. It's just that your happiness and your, they don't like the fact that they've been going to church for years, all their life, and you obtained what they are trying to obtain in like a month. So then they'll go back to church and say, Lord, Father God, this person, and they bothering me because they got something that I ain't been able to obtain from you. That's exactly what they do. And I'm tired of older people doing that. I'm tired of elders doing that. And see, though, they're not elders. They're just sheep. They're sheeples. They're sheeple people. I feel comfortable where I'm at right here. And I just think that my daughter should just go and get a job and just be a good little slave like everybody else. Well, first of all, everybody that has a job doesn't think of their job as slavery. So that's number one thing that they're doing. A job is an opportunity to make money so that you can do what you want to do in your life. Now, you just need to go get that job and then be there until you die. But jobs have a high turnover, so that's not possible. That's not the same thing. So the elders, they see it as totally different. They're living in a totally different world than we are in. They're not in the same world. They're not in the same thing that we're in. And what they did was they produced and they created a whole bunch of crap, crappy children with crappy music and just crap. And then they said, see, I told y'all. Huh? So a Christian person, a Christian parent is more than likely to destroy you, to prove. Even in the Bible says that in order to prove your faith, you got to destroy your kids. And they said that that was God. I can't handle it no more. So I didn't want to say nothing at first, but that's one of the reasons why their church got shot up. Because the church is doing too much evil. And they've been doing too much evil. They've been doing it. Okay. And a lot of those people that are in that church, they wasn't even, it's a total farce that they even belong to something like that. They say, you belong to Jesus. And no, I don't. No, I don't. I belong to me. I don't belong to anybody. I'm going to give you over to this. They always trying to give you over to something. No, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's what they want. That's what they want. Listen, there's nothing that is being said in social media. Everybody that is against me, they do it behind closed doors. They don't show it in social media, but they're doing it behind closed doors. Those are facts. So when I'm over here doing my spell work, I just do spell work for myself. But I see a lot of people still caught up in that. I do. Every single day, I see a lot of people still caught up in that. That's why I have to come and speak about it, because it ain't right. So anyway, guys, I gotta go. There's a specific way that you want to deal with hypocritical elders. I'm not going to talk about this on here, but there is a way to stop them from harassing you, bothering you, putting bad energy on you. There's a way to stop them from doing that. And I do it all the time. So a lot of people this year, they like, well, we tired and we just want to give up and everything on this earth is going to be destroyed. No, it's not. Your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and your great-great-great-grandchildren and your great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren are still going to be on this freaking planet in this existence until you change it. It's still going to afflict us. It's still going to affect you. A lot of people, well, it's over. They just going to destroy and kill everybody. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not going to do that. You're still going to be here, and your grandchildren are still going to be here wrapped up in that generational curse that says anything that feels good is bad. Amen. No. No. Yeah, mine are quiet. Mine are kind of quiet, but it's obvious what they still doing. And for me, I don't have a problem with it. I look at them like they crazy is what I do. I just kind of go along with it, but then I do my spiritual work against it. It's not that you're doing it against that person. It's not that you're trying to kill them. The killing them would be proving them wrong, because when you prove them wrong, they get sick. Oh, you mean to tell me that I was wrong? No. Well, yeah, you're wrong about doing self-fulfilling prophecies and reading from a Bible that tells you that you shouldn't even look up at the sky and that you should kill somebody because they practice witchcraft, which and they're doing witchcraft themselves. That's all I'm saying to y'all. I want y'all to see that. And I'll see y'all later. If you guys need to reach me, if you have any religious abuse, religious trauma, I am the one to reach for this, because I don't use any kind of Bible or none of that. No, I am not a hoodoo practitioner. No, I do not. I am not practicing hoodoo. Hoodoo involves the Bible, and that I do not do anymore. I don't do anything with the Bible. I write my own spells. Okay? And then that way you can relax. That way you can't, these people can't relax. They just constantly up in arms and all this and that. And it's because of their money. So then they really hypocritical, because according to the Bible, all of them are supposed to be poor, including the pastors. That religion don't bring you no kind of prosperity. It just gives you what you need. I'm sorry. I don't want just what I need. I want what I want. And I'm going to get what I want regardless, every time, all up and through here. And that's just all it is to it. Thank you very much. I'll see y'all later. Love, light, and blessings.